This is Entrepreneurship 101, inspiring entrepreneurs to rise, innovate, and create lasting impact. And today I have my special guest. He's a marketing coach, an actor, and of course, a voice cover artist, none other than Mr. Kyle Asperger.
Daniel, thank you for having me, man. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you will be have a bountiful, prosperous New Year this 2026 and beyond. So, Mr. Carl, can you please introduce more about yourself that I yes.
Of course. Well, I mean, you nailed it right on the head there. I'm originally from Chicago. I'm a marketing coach. That stems from about a decade of being a marketer and sort of navigating the corporate world, and understanding, how do I get myself out there as a marketer, as a business owner, the entrepreneur, um, all that good stuff that comes with that. And nowadays, yeah, spun up a bit of a career as an actor, both in commercial and film, and all that stuff's just to kind of keep the creative juices going. I'll say that. Um, I don't know. On the whole, I'm a flexible individual. I think it's probably indicative of the times that we're in, as quick as they are changing. I have very simply just gotten used to flexing with the times, and generally speaking, I'm the guy that rises to the occasion, whatever it may be.
Mm, yes, and Mr. Kyle, again, thank you so much for sharing your creative juices to the world. Thank you, thank you. And today, let's talk about how mindset shapes every business decision.
Mm.
So, tell us how you define the founder mindset or a CEO mindset, and what specific ways thus, it acts as an invisible compass for every strategic choice.
The founder mindset.
Yes, founder's mindset.
It's a
What?
very, I don't quite know if I have a, well, I mean, the definition is I guess it's, well, the problem is in my own defining process. I see it from, sort of like from both sides. I've seen founder syndrome, which is
Mm,
where founders are so stuck in their ways that they are not able to get out of whatever these different like habits are. Some of which may be detrimental to the business, whether innovations or simply just management processes, whatever they may be. The founder is just like, we got to do it. Like it's always been like this. It's problematic in those cases. That's oftentimes where businesses will plummet if they're not able to get past that. But the the good founder is the individual who I believe felt, you know what, I can go build something myself because I've seen perhaps different examples in the past that I saw to be, for whatever reasons, perhaps problematic. Maybe it didn't work. Maybe the product or service was simply just not what the world needed. So, founders are people that are equal parts innovators as they are stupid for venturing into the business of entrepreneurship, which is, as we all know, it's terrifying for many, just because of how inconsistent it is. So these are incredible individuals who are willing to go against the tide to stand by an idea, a product, whatever it may be, and do everything that they can to see it either into fruition or, I don't know, into whatever life that concept has.
yes. So, Mr. Carl, what is a common scarcity mindset trap that holds small businesses back? And what does the abundant mindset alternative look like in practice?
Well, we have, all right, two huge words: scarcity and abundance.
Yes.
We can think about scarcity these days. I mean, like, think about, all right, where are we with AI? AI is putting people out of jobs left and right. And there's a lot of people that are thinking my entire skill set that I just graduated college with is almost obliterated thanks to AI. Okay, so that's we're I know that this doesn't fall in the founder category, but for individuals that are just trying to simply get by, make a living, it's very difficult to think that there's an abundance of jobs. We don't quite know that there are right now. Now, I mean, that's one category, but from would you prefer perspectives from the founder or do you have
Either.
preference?
Either.
Either.
Yes, please.
It, I mean, there's always the interesting notion where, abundance, as in, how much of a client base do we have? This is always, there's always competition out there. And okay, so if we're networking in person, you and I, Daniel, say that you are technically a competitor of mine, and we're in roughly the same geographic area. So there would definitely be a bit of a clash just because simply we are probably trying to pull from the same pool of um, clientele,
Mm-hmm.
which could be a tough one. But it is a matter of perspective. I mean, maybe it's easier in the world of philanthropy, of nonprofit, for them to kind of come with this abundance mindset where there's always donors. If other nonprofits are doing something similar, we don't need to see them as competition. We can support one another's missions by essentially raising the whole. Business does not work that same way. It's just fact, really. But if we instead don't approach it from the standpoint of I should be in sort of a combative, position with you, given that you're technically the competition here, there is still just a way to navigate things where we respect and admire each other for going down the paths that we have. The abundance very simply just being all right. Well, if we are maybe pulling from the same client base, maybe we do something else, slightly different, tweak it just a little bit so that we start pulling from a slightly different, client base. There are, maybe that's an abundance mindset. Hmm, I'm not entirely sure it falls under that category, but um, I think where the economy is here, where is it that you're based, Daniel?
Vancouver, British Columbia.
Vancouver, that's right. So here in the States, like there's generally a fear of a recession sort of looming. I'm not saying that there is going to be one, but there is definitely a consideration. Um, so, all right, what that also means too is that people are pulling back on, investing in product, services, anything. So that consideration, this scarcity mindset of, all right, if we're walking into this recession, what do we do? What happens? How do I thrive and live now? So that's, I'm not saying that there is any tremendous answer for that. It's just one of the realities. People have pulled back on funding. So, how is it that we as founders, as innovators, can set ourselves apart, continue thriving in business? I don't quite know. But if we have an example of a scarcity mindset, we may be living in it right now.
Mr. Kyle, let's talk about on mindset in action and decision making. How does a problem oriented mindset lead to completely different decision than an opportunity focused mindset when facing the same market challenge that you are talking about?
Well, perspective changes the conversation completely. And so, if you have this sort of problem mindset, I mean, the human brain, we just we zero in on the negative. That's how we're wired. So oftentimes we have to override our own inner working to push towards something positive. But that also takes effort, consistency, and especially if, as a founder or the entrepreneur, you're going to be customer facing. You're going to have to manage the PR component of the business, the marketing side, all of these outgoing communications. And that requires a heck of a lot of consistency. So as you're doing this, if you approach it from a problem standpoint, and this is, mind you, the same prompt, but we have two different perspectives. One being the problem, and then the other being the opportunist. So the problem mindset infects conversation like it's an epidemic, and it falls in so smoothly that sometimes the individuals in that problem space can't even realize what they are doing to themselves, the amount of self sabotage that they're doing. This is as simple as somebody, um, just having a weird day, for whatever reason. I'm not going to attack any specific reason on there, but how do I say it? So, all right, here's a great example. Last night, we're recording this January 1st, 2026. So I went to a party last night, saw some, great old friends that I hadn't seen for like 6 months probably. And okay, so I walk up to a friend and I say, all right, what's good in your world? Okay, so I'm setting up the question by saying, one, I'd like to focus on the good. So this is, I wouldn't exactly label it as opportunistic, but I'd label it as an overall positive start to the conversation. What's good in your world? And so the response that she gives me is, well, I've been studying stock options trading. And mind you, she's a fitness coach. So essentially, she's bolstering this side so that she can financially be stable, travel, endure whatever is to come. And her purpose, this, fitness training, can stay alive and thrive without the financial stress of having to make that everything. So I said, you know what? I got to give you props, because you know how many people, even tonight alone, I've walked up to and said, like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's going on? And they're like, 2025 has been kind of a crap year, which is true. I'm not denying that. It was rough for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the fact that she spun it in such a, it's not even like everything is like rainbows and lollipops. Like, that's just blatantly not true. But the reality is that she said, all right, well, I'm learning this new skill because it's going to help me here. And I come from this mindset of, all right, well, if you want to learn something new, then learn and do. And I said that it's just such an extraordinary answer to know, okay, we're coming out of kind of a rough year, but you see that and you're seeking to fix that. I think that's an extraordinary opportunistic answer, because the opportunist, they focus on the positive of, all right, maybe we acknowledge the negative, but within the negative there is opportunity for innovation, for an answer, for some sort of a solution. So look at it objectively, and that's where you can build, learn, whatever's next.
So, Mr. Kyle, what does the mindset our brand is our most valuable asset translate into specific daily decisions that accompany with our product is our only asset mindset would never make?
Would you mind rephrasing that question?
Yes. So, how about the mindset of our brand is the most valuable in our daily life? How would these products only asset mindset that we never make?
So the mindset of the brand
Yes.
is one of the
Our
most,
only product as our only asset. How about your product is gone? mindset will never make.
So you're saying that the mindset is the product of this
Mm-hmm.
brand?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, like the way that I would
As
look at that is like a mindset coach, perhaps.
yes,
Okay.
as you are the coach, and then what you can make your brand as your asset, and it failed. What would be the next mindset that you will make?
Well, I would look at why it failed first, and if I'm not able, if I'm talking about my own brand that failed, um, the very important aspect here would be to understand, okay, well, why is it that it failed? And for me to be able to objectively look at my own like product and objectively see why it failed would potentially be very difficult. Okay, so half of this is go get other opinions. Find people that you trust, people that are objective, that will give you truthful, honest feedback. Those people are going to be very integral to this entire process of understanding, okay, where is it that I messed up? Because when you understand where, then you can start to get into the, okay, well, maybe this could be why or, whatnot. But needless to say, an objective understanding of what happened is crucial so that you can look at that and figure out, all right, well, this happened. This can't happen again. How is it that we move forward more productively? So when you see the idea objectively, then you can hold that mirror up to it and say, all right, well, within the confines of this, if we keep with the similar brand notion, maybe this is how we tweak and adjust it to make it a bit more palatable for whoever it is that needs to hear it. Or if you need to just step away from that entirely, I'd say, all right, it's going to probably take a lot of inner work to understand, well, what is my brand message now? Because apparently, iteration A did not work. So what components didn't work? And, within iteration B, this next go, figure out something different, but work off the existing data. Make sense?
Makes sense. So, looking at the industries being disrupted, is the disruptor's advantage of an fundamentally different mindset or not just a better technology?
It could be both. Sometimes superior technology can also fail if not enough people know about it. Um, I mean, that's one somewhat realistic thing. You'd hope that that wouldn't be the case, but I mean, a good product is useless if no one knows about it. The the mindset. So, in order to, I guess, bring more weight to the situation, we would have to compare two exact same companies that very simply have two different mindsets and approaches. So essentially, all systems, all products, all heck employees, whatever, everything is same, except if you look at the top. And this even came up last night too. Like, this is just a matter of, some another individual at this gathering was talking about uh, the management that he's encountered at different places that he's worked, and he's just like, gosh, they have they just do such a bad job of caring for the employee, which to me is like, well, employees are crucial to the success of the business. So why, as the manager, would you not invest in them? Perhaps not even financially, just like get to know them as people, care for them. God forbid, like that. What a terrifying, consideration of actually knowing the people that you work with. Really. But that's the thing. It's a very simple mindset shift, because if you kick that one unfortunate individual out who's at the top that does not value the employees below, um, if you remove them and bring somebody in that actually does understand how to manage, how to lead, not to be a boss, but to instead be that leader. I would venture to say that within 2 weeks' time, whatever those different KPIs, whatever they're tracking, the data points, they will start to see everything raising up within 2 weeks' time. Because the morale, people will understand these systems. I'm not even going to talk about tech, but mindset is such a significant thing that if you are infected by this cancerous mindset and you can do something about it, do it. If it's a founder who's unwilling to move, that certainly complicates things, but that's where intercompany innovation comes in, I guess. Easier said than done, most certainly.
Just do it, people. Just do it and stop procrastinating.
Exactly. Nike, thank you.
It's a copyrighted, but we are always using.
Just boop, bleep it out.
So, Mr. Kyle, what is the single most important mindset shift leader can make today through the future proof the business and decision making?
Well, okay, here's the deal. I'm 2026 is a bit of a question mark year for me. I'm only speaking on my behalf, but I also know that a couple others are sort of in this same boat where we don't quite know what is going to happen. And I'm talking sort of holistically here, not simply like individual career path. We don't really know where we're going. AI innovation is wild, whether or not we're going to hit a recession, what's going to come down from the top, talking politics. At least here in the States, things are a bit nuts. So, the flexibility and fluidity in life is very key in moments like this where, things are changing. So we're fine as a society, and I'm really only speaking about like American society here, not to, I mean, no shade. I just don't simply know that the, day to day that you're going through over there, Daniel. But, we're in a liminal space where things are shifting constantly. People are scared. Okay, so what happens when you're scared? You hold on to your resources, whatever they may be, most often money. So, because of that, because of this general unknowing, having that ability to flex and to adapt, to accept that times are changing, technologies are being built, they're getting infinitely smarter and more powerful by the millisecond, seemingly. How is it that we can accept these into our lives? Because I'm a millennial, man. I come with enough old school mindset that like all this stuff, people just being on their phones and boop, 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 I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But I am exactly in that same boat. It's awful. But that's the way of the world. Attention spans are shortening too. So we have to account for that. There's all of these different changing fluid aspects. So what is it that we need to do? If I'm having to advise somewhat blindly, is simply just get used to changing times and be able to flex with them, because the people that are sort of traveling and always have traveled down one path, perhaps there was a time where that worked and you found in a more extreme situation, if you found great success from that, that could be the instance where it's the most difficult for the individual to understand, all right, maybe I need to throw away what I previously knew and adapt to these changing times. And adaptation is not easy because it's like those habits, that knowledge base. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to try different things. And what that requires is risk, failure. People hate taking risks. People hate failing. It's not fun. But get used to it.
Yes, people don't like changes too. So, Mr. Kyle, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 and third season, and My Food 101 is sixth season. Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101, Review Music 101, our fourth season, Science 101, and Sex 101 in the second season, and My Baby Podcast, Mental Health 101, Law 101, Bible Verses 101, and of course Entrepreneurship 101, and the latest one, Motivation 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So Mr. Kyle, ultimately, if you could leave every leader with one core belief to adopt about the power of mindset, what would it be?
Mm. Start your day with it. There's two things I say at the very beginning of my day, and it's, you call it manifestation, call it whatever you want. There's two things. One is I was adopted at birth. So I thank all of my parents. I mean, Liz and John are the individuals that adopted me. Amy and Chip put me up for adoption. Had I not been adopted, it's, without question, Daniel, you and I would not be talking right now. The opportunities, the experiences that I've been afforded because I was adopted, it's extraordinary. So I begin one by thanking all of them. Not literally. I'm not texting them every single morning, but it's something I say in my mind to kind of prime the pump, so to speak. The second is I'm ready to work, because whatever this next chapter, this next year, 2026 has in store, I don't know. But I know that hard work is going to be a pretty significant, consistent component. So that's what I do. And, if I'm deep in the workload, then all right, get up at 5, start my day with those two bits and get right into it. But yeah, I think that's it. Prime the pump and just stay healthy. We got to take care of ourselves here.
Yes. Health is wealth, people. And Mr. Kyle Asperger, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Well, thank you, as always, for having me on, Daniel. It's been a pleasure. Definitely bummed out that you didn't have me on for the Sex 101 podcast. Just going to put that out there.
Please do come over. Sex 101.
We'll have fun. We're going to have fun.
Yes.
For anything, whether marketing, acting, social media is probably the best way to stay tuned. Instagram, it's Kyle Asperger 301, and this is ASPERGER, and the number's 301.
Mm-hmm.
That's Instagram. Facebook, simply Kyle Asperger. Go ahead and follow those if you'd like to stay in touch and just kind of see what's new in the day of the marketing coach, the anarchist, the actor. But Anarchy for a Day, that is the name of the coaching practice, and anarchyforaday.com. That's FORAday.com.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Kyle Asperger, because if you support him, fortune more and more empowering advocacy like this will rise. So, Mr. Kyle, thank you so much for your time.
Daniel, thank you. I appreciate you.
Monica, people, see you soon.